Hey everyone, today I'm going to introduce Tyler. He's our Google Ads genius, Google Ads ninja, as we like to call him. I thought that I was good at Google Ads until I met Tyler, and Tyler's just been slaying it for our clients. Even some that we had to pull out of the dark dredges of why isn't this working? He's helped us turn that around. And even guys like JP Euro, we put so much offense on the field, he added Japanese. And so he had five Lexuses in his bays today. I just talked to him this morning, and he said his average RO on those is 4,800 bucks each. So just do the math. It's working out really well for him. He's super happy with what's going on there. And we also started doing some Performance Max to where we're advertising people that aren't even searching for the auto repairs that have worked out really well for him. So even if your past agency has told you, hey, look, you're spending maximum amount of money on your Google ads, nothing else is going to convert. Well, we're finding that that's just inaccurate. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Tyler. He's going to help us to see if you want to look inside your Google ads and see if you're spending too much or just see what's going on. He's going to help walk us through some of that. So Tyler, I'm going to go ahead and hand you the ball.
All right, thanks, Sam. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So I have one of the accounts pulled up, like Sam mentioned, JP Euro. I have his pulled up. The first thing you want to look at is, well, I mean, everything right here. So it can be a little overwhelming. I would focus just on the meaty parts, your clicks, your cost per conversions, your costs, things like that. And we'll walk through those real quick. But the first thing I want to mention is this timeline over here, just because you want to make sure you're looking at the timeline that you want to look at. Sometimes when it's just set at one day, metrics will look really small because it's just one day worth of metrics. So just be aware that you want to come in here and select the time zone you want, or not the time zone, but the time range you want. So I have it at a week. Looking at a week, so he has 716 clicks this week. That means how many people went to the website. Conversions 57, cost per conversion 635, and then the cost for this week. And you can kind of see the up and down of those numbers. You can even, if you want to just see one of these lines, you can turn off some of these and just see the cost as it's the green line each day. Or you could turn that off and do cost and conversion, or you can just have two and compare both of those. So that's helpful to know when you're wanting to compare data. Again, this isn't too difficult. Most people know what these metrics are. You want to come down here, you can see a little bit more. So like a heat map of the area we are targeting. So we're targeting a 10-mile radius around his location, which is in Garland. So we have clicks all around that 10-mile radius. And then there's other cards here that just kind of let you know what times of the week that you're getting the most clicks, the interactions you're getting, the raw leads, things like that. I'll go ahead and switch over to this account. I just want to show you where you can see the ads that you're running. So right here, you go under campaigns and then click ads. So it looks like we have 7 ads right here for fine-tuned auto. You can click this little pencil and then see an example of your ad, how that would look. Now I wouldn't go changing anything in here because, I mean, unless you really want to, you could come in here and change, but that's kind of what we're doing for you. But right here, you can see the mobile version of your ad or the desktop version of your ad and how that would look. So if you ever want to know what that kind of looks like, this is a good example to look for. But yeah, these would be all your headlines. Google will arrange these headlines and descriptions. They have an algorithm that knows what the best headlines and descriptions will be. So they kind of arrange it themselves. If we go now to the search term keyword list. So if you want to know what keywords you're coming up for, which is really important, kind of very important to know what keywords you're coming up for so that you make sure They are keywords that are relevant to your business. You come here to this insights and reports, and then you come down here to search terms. Now, you can see here in the search terms report, we have it at August 1 to the 30th, so a full month, almost a full month of search terms. You can see which ones came up the most, so the highest amount of impressions. Looks like oil change near me came up the most. You can see which got the most clicks. So again, oil change near me came up with the most clicks. See how much those clicks are costing on average and the click-through rate. So we want to make sure the click-through rate is high. I would say anything above 3% in this industry is a good click-through rate, just because that lets us know if the ad copy is relevant to the audience we're targeting. So if it's above that 3%, then that's really good. But yes, that's how you would look at, you can look at all of these keywords that you came up for the month of August.
And one other thing that we're finding with a lot of the new clients that we acquire is that those keywords are coming up as their own business names. And some other agencies will have that be there just so it looks like, you know, they're getting them a lot of clicks, but you shouldn't pay for somebody to Google your business name because your business is going to come up anyway. You don't need to show them an ad for it.
Correct. You don't want to pay for search terms you're already going to come up for organically. So that's a really good point.
Yep. So, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see on ads or ad groups that we fix?
One of the biggest is location targeting. So sometimes I've seen really big areas that, most people, at least I think the general public, don't really travel more than 10 miles to find an auto shop, especially if they're so common in a dense city. So I've seen people, they'll have like 60-mile radius. Well, you're spending on people clicking 50 miles away, and the likelihood of them coming in is very, very, very low. So that's one thing. The search terms or the keywords are a little too broad, so they might do auto shop. But the thing with broad search keywords is that you could come up for anything related to that. So it might be, Jiffy Lube shop, and you're not a Jiffy Lube shop. So you don't want to come up for those. You don't want people clicking on those and costing you money on those kind of keywords. So really refining keywords, mechanic near me, that lets you know that they're looking for a mechanic, which you are. And it also has high intent. When they say near me, that lets you know that they're looking for someone in the area. The only intent behind that is that they want to come and bring their car in. So finding really good high intent keywords is really important. The other things, I would say the ad copy, you want to make sure that you're trying to have a good combination of headlines that have good call to actions, and that also bring out the emotion that you want them to feel after using your business. So like quick, you want to be able to bring your car in and have a quick experience. So like a quick, fast auto change or oil change. So you say those in the headlines, and then someone's like, yes, that's what I want, because I want it to be fast. Or use effective, or they want highly trained technicians to work on their car because they don't want their car to, be worked on with someone with no experience. So in the headlines will say highly trained technicians near you. So it lets people know that like a highly trained technician will work on their car and they're being taken care of. So we just try to make sure that, they get those emotional responses when we're using good headlines.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, just did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Uh, nothing that I could think of just off the top, but you have any other questions or anything else?
No, just one of the things with cookies and with tagging and whatnot is constantly changing. I feel like our company is like jumping from iceberg to iceberg. We jump on that one, it looks pretty big, and then it melts away. We have to constantly have to retrain, and so it's something that you can get an ad that's working now, and 3 months from now, Google might change something and it might not. So it's something that you'll constantly want to upkeep, especially going into shoulder seasons. Expect to spend a little bit more money on shoulder seasons, so you can keep that flow up. We were talking with EBA this morning, and he said, we have the same amount of people this month as we did last month. This is more than we normally have in September, and it's because we ramped up a little bit for his shoulder seasons to make sure that he's keeping his techs busy during those shoulder seasons. So as you're looking at budget, that's one thing that I would recommend is know that you're going to want to turn it up a little bit in the slower seasons, then turn it back down a little bit, and when your techs are busy. And it may not seem like these make a lot of difference, but it really does. When we first looked at Jeffrey Roy's ad spend on his Google, we saved him 2,500 bucks a month. That's what we anticipated at first. It turned out to be 4,000 after all was said and done. And he sent me something earlier this week that showed that we had actually saved him about $56,000 this year. And so this really can make a big difference. If you take that savings and you reallot it into other parts of your marketing. In this particular case, his Google ads were able to replace his EDDM. And so we were able to save him that much money to where he has taken home an extra $56,000 this year. Yeah, we'll go ahead and close out. If you have any questions, go ahead and ping us. You can leave it in the comments below, or you can just, get with us on 11group.com and just, message us. But yeah, if you have questions, talk to your project manager. You can ping me, Sam Sadler, and I'll get you taken care of. And Tyler he's just rocking it for us. We love him to death. No, you can't have him. But yeah, we appreciate everybody coming on, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
See you guys.